And it's a great morning despite all that snow. It's Friday, beginning right before classes to begin. Before I talk about the 2010 initiative, which I promise to keep it brief, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you that have participated in making this day possible. First of all, we have some outstanding professors who agreed to lead a panel discussion in a few moments, and that's Dr. Heather Snell Masterson and Dr. Patrick Masterson as well. So I'd like to give a round of applause to our professors that have agreed to do that. Thank you. In advance of and in anticipation of your remarks, but also I'd like to thank the hardworking staff here that were burning the midnight oil despite the snowstorm last night and working every single day to make this a reality with the PowerPoint slides, the logistics, the food that you'll have for lunch. And I don't know if anyone is still here. I see Dawn Williams on the side, but also Aaliyah Wilson and Donna Wilson, Betty Nungary. If any of you are still here, please stand up. This was the team that put these things together, and if I'm forgetting anyone, Valerie Williams was also in support. Somebody's waving and I can't see. Okay, they're there. So how about a round of applause? They did an excellent job. I mentioned to Professor Snell Masterson this morning that I appreciated her storytelling. She did a great job taking us back in time to 1969. And really, we didn't talk about this, but I'm also going to take you to another place and time. But instead, my comments will address the future. I asked this morning, the new year of 2010, still fresh, for you to pause and consider the year 2020. What will our campus look like? Be like? Most importantly, what will we stand for? Well, 10 years from now, because I've already done some thinking on the topic, I believe we will look back on this day and marvel at the new trails we have forged and the innovation we have embraced. We will detect how civility, collegiality, respect for research, and free inquiry were carefully folded into the Academy's most classic recipe: a rigorous education. In a world that is turned upside down by change, this traditional recipe is the constant that will yield the greatest returns. Of course, I believe that. We do not know how the future will unfold scientifically, technologically, politically, or culturally over the next 10 years. You know that 10 years goes by in a blink of an eye. For our way of life has made time fly, even when we're not having fun, although mostly we are. So as a point of comparison, it's been 14 years since front page headlines delivered a dose of such shocking scientific news that the message reverberated all the way to Radio City Music Hall. A petite gal, crowned by a gigantic puff of bright blonde hair, who also required a hairbrush to tame her false eyelashes, was suddenly not the only famous one with the name of
Dolly.
Dolly. Ooh, you get a prize. Dolly. We didn't talk prior to this. She now has competition for the first cloned mammal, a sheep that gained instant notoriety as a celebrity namesake. Fast forward to today. The San Francisco-based Institute for the Future brought in a litany of futurist gurus to participate in a panel discussion. The panel warned the future wary that if the pace of change seems a nuisance now, you haven't seen anything yet. To keep up, humans are going to have to figure out how to keep their education constant amid a snowstorm of paradigm shifts. Futurists explain that we will need to watch for struggles with human identity as machines on the other end of the phone acquire thinking and responsive capacity of the human brain. So experts tell us that by 2020, 3 transformative technologies, biotechnology, information, and nanotechnology, will complement and compete with each other. Accordingly, education must change. We must be the change. But we're not going to be groping our way through the fog of the future in its unknown alone. We will have followers, looking to us for direction to illuminate a path toward tomorrow. We will be the ones to lead, inspire, and educate students of all walks of life and ages to become the best they are capable. Now, for young adults belonging to Generation 2020, us educators face some special challenges and opportunities. Two of the favorite phrases this generation seem to have are, "it is what it is," and "whatever." But we must resist the notion that our current state is fixed or remotely good enough, such as the fact that for many of our students it takes 9 years to complete a 2-year associate degree in a world characterized by technological and economic upheaval. That is, but it should not be. Whatever is not an option. In referring to the young adults belonging to Generation 2020, Coach Mike Shabesky, the basketball coach at Duke University with an award-winning track record, lamented, "Before these kids know about excellence, they know about money, and it's a shame." Well, to his astute point, we must be the change and rekindle the drive for excellence as our legacy recipe. Our students are those who walk the path of learning alongside us, and indeed they are fully interactive, yet have trouble communicating. They own their own e-universe, yet surf the web alone. They demand immediacy. The themes immediate gratification and "it's all about me" were intertwined in business, society, and academy during the past 10 years. So it's time to turn a page from a culture that is me-obsessed to one in which concern and action for mankind and the planet we inhabit permeate our collective mindset. Know that the good we do today, the innovation, the assistance, the extra hours we invest in keeping our minds lubricated and open to new ideas will help all of us as an institution of higher learning when we bring in the new year of 2020. This then is the 2010 initiative. Give it all you've got, now, this moment. And in doing so, pass along the cherished recipe that calls for rigorous academic education for our students, irrespective of social class, demographic status, ethnicity, or age. We are teaching the students of tomorrow. They will leapfrog into a future we cannot envision today. Well, just like a tried and true recipe, some ingredients need not change. Continue your focus on advancing academic excellence in your disciplines. Faculty crank out new ideas, improve courses, redesign curriculum, launch innovative programs, experiment with technologies, collaborate to bust out of silos, and tinker with pedagogy. But is your intellect fueled by your passion and your compassion that are our most important assets? So stay the course with respect to academic standards. Remain true to the establishment of high expectations for your students. And I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say that low standards do not do our students any favors. Low academic expectations help only to sustain mediocrity and to blur visions of excellence. So when you have conversations with your adjunct faculty teaching in your discipline, reinforce that standards matter. So as Dean of Academics, I ask, what can Tri-C East do to embrace the advancement of science and technologies? But then, how do we balance these sophisticated achievements with the elevation of spirit nourished by the humanities and the arts as we rethink again and again what it means to be fully human, to cherish collegiality and the standards set by civil society? How do we educate our students to become the leaders and entrepreneurs that this new age demands? Well, you know that we are responsible for educating the leaders that will shape and change society. So let your ideas come to life. Let them flourish. We know that ideas are fragile and they need the support and encouragement from your colleagues, but also from us in administration. Otherwise, they are easily lost, forgotten, crushed, or broken. 2010, make it the start of a great transformation, and let's join together in the 2010 initiative to be the absolute best that we can be, simply because the world of 2020 needs our best thinking and our efforts today. So I ask that you be the change. My door is always open to new ideas, and it does respond to the knock of opportunity, as I think some of you realize, because I had the good fortune of working with many of you. Well, that concludes my remarks, but I would like to introduce our panel, and we have two wonderful panels coming up, and I'll tell you a little bit about the format. The first is going to be Dr.